Hello, my name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International, and I want to welcome you to the 90-day game plan training. Now, the 90-day game plan, this is foundational to success in a network marketing business. This is something that was taught to me many years ago, 30 years ago now. And it has everything to do with what our profession is really about. Network marketing isn't some kind of, get rich quick overnight deal. Okay, this is a real business, and like every real business, it takes time to develop. And so some of you have heard, the phrase, commit to a year, be here a year from now. I like to be a little bit more long-term focused. I tell people that depending upon what your goals are, you're looking at a 24 to 36 month game plan. If you have higher level goals, it might be a 3 to 5 year game plan. It's important to understand that nothing of significance is built overnight. Now, here's the problem. It's very difficult to maintain high-level focus for 3 to 5 years, or 24 to 36 months, or even for a year. And so this concept of the 90-day game plan, it's simply a way to be able to take a smaller chunk of time and be able to focus on correct activities. This is the key, to focus on correct activities. And so the 90-day game plan, it's just a formula. It's a tool that we use to help us maintain high-level focus on correct activities. Now, the essence of a 90-day game plan is really more about a one-day game plan times 90. And I'm going to illustrate how this one-day game plan committed to on a daily basis over a prolonged period of time can create significant results. And what I want you to do is, mentally think in terms of a calendar. Now, if your wall hanging calendar, you've got, 3 months across the top, and then the next 3 months, the next 3 months, next 3 months, okay? That's typically the way calendars are. And so we're going to start focusing on a 90-day game plan, or if you will, that first 3 months. Now, the important aspect here is to do correct activities. And so it starts with, understanding the concept of building your story. It certainly involves, the concept of a daily method of operation, developing your list, learning the system of invitation, presentation, validation. Now, if you were to do, and I'm going to keep the numbers real simple and very conservative, if you were to simply prospect one person on day one, okay, one person, call them up, invite them to take a look at what we're doing, follow the system, give them some tools to see, to learn a little bit more, but most importantly, put them on the phone, get them on a video conference with one of your active engaged upline that already has results to do third-party validation. If you were to do one person a day over the first 30 days of a 90-day game plan, you will have prospected 30 people. And law of averages, 1 in 10. You're going to end up with 3 or maybe 4 distributors in that first 30 days. Now, when you have those first 3 or 4 distributors, what do we need to do with them? Well, number 1, get in. Number 2, get trained. Number 3, get going. And these are all things that we can talk about at another time. Now, at the end of that first 30 days, you've got what we call the freshman class, okay? Your brand new distributors, if you will. Now, in the second 30 days, we're going to do the same thing we did in the first 30 days. We're going to develop our next freshman class. But we're going to take the class from the first 30 days and we're going to help advance their momentum. We're going to get them in, get them trained, get them going, teach them how to do what we did. Help them talk to, let's say, just one person a day, every day. At the end of their 30 days, they're likely to have, law of averages, 1 in 10, 3 or maybe 4 distributors to work with on their first level. Third month, we're going to do it again. We're going to start developing our next freshman class. We're going to be working with the class that we had developed in the second month, help them get in, get trained, get going, get their first, 2 or 3 or 4 distributors. But the class from the very first month, they've already been in 60 days. They already have a story because they've got people that they've personally sponsored. They've got people that are now second level to them, so they're starting to generate some more income. In that third month, they're going to be going even farther in depth. And at the end of 90 days, you've got 3 separate classes, each in a different stage of development. But what you really have is an incredible amount of momentum in your business. And I just used the example of prospecting 1 person a day, and at the end of that first 30 days, you have 3 distributors. At the end of the second 30 days, you'll have 3 new distributors, plus if each one of those 3 developed 3, you now have 9 distributors on your freshman class's second level. If you compound that, you'll start to see how it is inevitable that you will create momentum in your business. What if you focused on getting 2 or 3 people in the beginning of that first 30 days, and then help them get 2 or 3 people, get 2 or 3 levels deep? By the end of your first 30 days, that freshman class could have 10, 15, 20, 30 people in it. They move into the second month. You start in your second month doing the same thing again. Go get those first 3 people and then help them develop. And it's a compounding effect. So the 90-day game plan is nothing more than a 1-day game plan times 90. Doing correct activities. Create a list, prospect on a daily basis, follow up. It's going to take time. Okay, it takes time for the compounding effect to take place, and it's going to really cause you to have to become efficient, especially if you're part-time, because you're only going to have, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 30 minutes there. You want to plug into the system, utilize the resources for training that are made available to you. And what is the power of focusing on a 1-day game plan times 90? I want to share my personal story in Zija with you, because the greatest advantage I had with the day I joined Zija is I'd already done this before. I already knew the correct activities. Zija is my 3rd successful multi-level venture. Some of you know my story. I was able to literally 10 years after leaving my trucking profession to get involved in network marketing. Within 10 years, I retired. I retired 25 years earlier than the average person would expect to retire. So when Zija came along, this was, I'm not saying easy, but it was simple. I'd already done this before. And so when I started with Zija, I set high-level goals, and then I did exactly what I teach, created my list, built my initial story. I focused on a 90-day game plan to create momentum. Then as soon as that 90-day was up, I hit another 90-day game plan. And then I did a 3rd 90-day game plan. And I did a 4th 90-day game plan. Now, in that first year, I did 4 90-day game plans back to back. I didn't skip a beat, never took my foot off the throttle, focused on a daily method of operation. Now, at the end of that first year, I'd created a full-time income. Now, it wasn't a huge income. I mean, it wasn't, $1 million. It was truck driver income. But I did it part-time from home. And I want you to think about this for a minute. How many people would want to create a second full-time paycheck without having to go get another 40-hour-a-week job? Okay? That's the magic of our business. Now, the second year, when I got to the end of the first year, December 31st, and I actually remember it was like New Year's Eve. Everybody's had been getting ready for days for New Year's Eve party. I didn't finish my day till I think it was about 10 o'clock that night. And then I took a day off, New Year's Day. Everybody else was, dealing with their hangover situation or whatever. But I really didn't take the day off. I was planning out year 2. And I set up 4 more 90-day game plans. And at the end of that second year, my income second year 1099 put me into a six-figure income. And for most people, that would have been like, you know, the destination. I mean, most people making over 100,000 a year, they're making more money part-time than they've made in their entire life, right? But see, I had very high-level goals, and I also understand this profession. I didn't skip a beat. At the end of that second year, January 1, closed the books on the second year, opened the books on the third year, did my game planning, put the year in place, did 4 more back-to-back 90-day game plans. Didn't skip a beat. Total 12 90-day game plans. And by the end of the third year, my 1099 from our company put me in the top 1% of income earners in the country. 36 months can change your life. But you do it one day at a time. 90-day game plan is nothing more than a one-day game plan 90 times in a row. So, hope that was helpful. I want you to join me again on the next installment. We're going to be talking about other concepts that I've learned over the years that have helped me not only create an astounding level of income, but has helped many other people by sharing this information. So, thanks for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next training segment.